Hello, citizens of Gotham. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. We're doing the green screen. I just got back into the U.S. Hold on. This is wow. Yeah, just got back into the States, and so I don't have my home studio set up just yet. But we're doing good. We're drinking some iced tea, which you can't see because it's green, ice green tea, so it kind of acts like a green screen. Holly Horn is our moderator. Holly, good to see you. CBC voter, good to see everybody here. Like, share, and subscribe. That's a Bitcoin Lightning wallet, if you want to do that. So, hey, I just hadn't done a show in probably almost 3 weeks to a month, so I just wanted to come in here and do a show. Lee Camp and I will be doing Government Secrets tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. But I wanted to say hello. I had a great time. I did shows in Bangkok, and then I traveled to Cambodia and all over Thailand, which was amazing. It was great. It was a really cool experience, and I went to all these temples, and I surfed, and I went up to Chiang Mai, and there's a comedian up there I hadn't seen in a long time, and we connected and met some great people in Thailand and Cambodia. Cambodia was really amazing. The Cambodian people are really nice. They're really nice. And so it was really, really cool experience. And I'm sure I'll be going back there. I went with the Thai Film Commission and working on some projects there. I'm not at liberty to discuss as of now, but a lot of cool stuff is in motion, thanks to being a member of the Producers Guild. So that's been really cool. And yeah, economy collapse under Trump and Biden. Perfect storm for a third party. Amen to that. I don't want to be like pie in the sky, like Jill Stein, she's going to win. I love Jill Stein. I've had her on the show. I'll have her on again. That's who I'm going to vote for. But so I don't want to be like naive, because I know how hard the two-party system crushes third parties. But this is, as you say, a perfect storm, and anything is possible, especially in this crazy election in this crazy country. The arrogance of the two-party system could leave a hole, could leave a hole for Jill Stein to slide in. She could like win a couple of states, which would be pretty awesome. She's posted on social media that she is on the ballot in enough states to get 496 electoral votes. So it's 270 to win the White House. So she's on enough ballots to win the White House. So it is doable. It is doable. Yeah. Like you say, I can't think of a bigger hole or opportunity. I think you're right. I don't want to get my hopes up because of how awful and corrupt this country is. But I feel you, man. I'm like, all right, this could, hold on a sec. Just need a little more light in here. There we go. Hello, welcome home. Thank you so much, Kat. Welcome back, and thank you. So why don't we get into our first hot, fresh segment? No, it's here. It's Chrome tab. All right, let me get a couple things teed up here. All right, here we go. Like, share, subscribe, hit the, do the super chats. If you're watching on Rockfin, you can do the tip feature. That's a great way to support what we're doing. So I appreciate all of that. And we're also on, let me bring this up, Twitch. TwitchCon. All right. I'm cooking, so I'm in spastically lurker mode. Kat Negrita. Thank you, Kat. Kat, what part of the world do you live in? Okay. I'll be right back with our first hot, fresh segment. Hello, citizens of Gotham. My name is Graham Millwood, and you are watching the Bitcoin Vigilante, talking independent lefty politics with a little Bitcoin flavor. And that's how you can support our show. That is a Lightning wallet. Also, you can support our show all those ways scrolling below. I've been traveling, so that's why I'm not in my full normal studio, but I wanted to do a show. Hadn't talked to you guys in a while. I was in Thailand and Cambodia and Hong Kong. It was really awesome. I did some shows in Thailand and really got to see what that part of the world was like. I'd never been to Thailand or Cambodia before. And I think I'll be doing more touring over there. There's a lot of really cool shows in Singapore and Vietnam and all over the place. Kuala Lumpur, all throughout Asia. So I think I'm going to plan some type of tour maybe in January. And also met with the Thai Film Office. So just a lot of cool things I'm working on right now. Can't really discuss some of them, but some big projects are in the works. But of course, when I'm traveling, I watch the debacle of the Democratic convention. I thought the Republican convention was so insane. Everybody was wearing the eye patches or the ear patches because it was right after the assassination attempt. Hulk Hogan's taking his shirt off. I'm like, wow. And then the Democrats just go out there and say crazy nonsense. And people are really fed up. I mean, the Democratic Party, I've worked for this independent organization, Open Primaries, and I've interviewed people from all over the country. And like 60% of this country is just done with this two-party system. So what is happening is there's a heavy interest in the third parties. And this time around, Jill Stein and the Green Party are really making an effort to get serious ballot access. So if you follow Dr. Jill Stein or the Green Party, I would follow them on Twitter and social media. They have been fighting. So the Democratic Party lost. They were trying to sue the state of Wisconsin to prevent the Green Party from being on the Wisconsin ballot. So the Democratic Party that claims if Trump wins, we're the only thing protecting democracy. And I don't like Trump. I don't want him to be president. I think he's a fascist, but so are the Democrats. They've been actively trying to block the Green Party from getting on ballots. So you're trying to stop democracy while saying you're the party to protect democracy. And once again, the Green Party, they're not taking money from AIPAC. They're not taking money from Wall Street. So if you vote for Trump, you're voting for genocide. If you vote for Harris, you're voting for genocide. RFK and Tulsi Gabbard have gone on the Trump side. Tulsi Gabbard is such a sellout. I called her out years ago, and all these progressive lefties got mad at me. And of course I was right. So all the lefties that got mad at me, I'm waiting for your apologies. I'm waiting. Oh, probably not going to hear it because you're too busy, no, masks don't work or whatever nonsense you're crying about. So that was right. I was right then. I'm right again now. It's all right. You want to keep following an alcoholic cult leader? You go for it. Go for it. No, don't listen to the sober guy. Listen to the alcoholic dude that's just in it for the money. Whatever. I was right about Tulsi. So AOC tricked a lot of people, including me. And now she is such a sellout. She is sold out. We talked about it on the show years ago. I mean, she was fighting the good fight for about 18 months, right? She got sworn in. She ran in 2018, got sworn in January of 19, right? About a year and a half, year or so before she just started. She just sold out, right? Or maybe she won in 16. I can't. Anyway, about a year and a half. And now she's complete selling out. And now she's saying she's lying. She's flat out lying about Jill Stein and the Green Party. So watch this. The reaction from this is blown up in AOC's face. All these people are just like, she keeps like losing her base.
Y'all, this is a little spicy.
Shut up.
But I have thoughts. I feel like I should save this for a live. I'm not coming for people who are thinking about this. I'll talk to you. What I have a problem with is the fact that if you are running for president, you are the de facto leader of your party. And first of all, trust me on this. I run as a third-party candidate in New York. I'm also run as a working families party candidate in addition to running as a Democrat. Because trust me, I've been on record about my criticisms of a two-party system. So this is not about that. But you are the leader of your party. And if you run for years and years and years and years and years in a row, and your party has not grown, and you don't add city council seats, and you don't add down ballot candidates, and you don't add state electeds, that's bad leadership. And that to me is what's upsetting.
Okay, so let's right there, boom, out of the gate. That's not true. Two things are false in that statement. First of all, Jill Stein hasn't run years and years and years in a row. She didn't run in 2020. Howard Hawkins, I believe, was the Green Party candidate. She did not run in 2020. And the Green Party has something like 100-some people in various seats around the country. So would I like to see Greens in Congress, Greens in the Senate? Of course I would. Have I had some criticisms of the Green Party for not getting more down ballot people in? Absolutely. But what she's just said is not true. She's just said it's not true. And she's going to elaborate on that she thinks, it's a scam or whatever. So, and also AOC gave a speech at the Democratic Convention a week ago saying that they're working tirelessly to get a ceasefire in Gaza. And that right, that's also another lie. That she just, the Democratic Party and AOC is just gaslighting its constituents. The notion that the Democratic Party acts like, boy, our hands are tied with Israel and Palestine. What are you talking about? 4 days before the Democratic Convention, Joe Biden and Vice President Harris, the Democratic nominee for president, she's won 0 primaries and was given the nominee. They sent $20 billion to Israel. You know how you get a ceasefire? You go, hey, Netanyahu, that $20 billion, you're not getting a penny until you stop bombing civilians in Palestine and Gaza. Stop getting in the West Bank. You don't get a penny. It ends. The war ends in under 60 seconds. The minute that phone hangs up, all of Israel's army stops because Israel can't do anything without American money. So this notion that, oh, gee, we don't know what to do. And then so the gaslighting is unreal. And then for AOC sitting there going, this could be a little spicy. Like this is offensive to me. And tell me one thing. Here's another thing let's bring up. The Greens haven't, so that's not true. Tell me what has the squad passed? I'm sorry, what was that? No, zero? None? What bills has the squad passed? Has the squad gotten anything done? Outside of the Democratic convention, Rashida Tlaib was like, my constituents that aren't calling, that don't see this as a genocide, my coworkers. She basically almost didn't say her name. So the squad is the most ineffective thing. And this is all they is. It's just marketing. She's just like, yeah, talking to Gen Z, my whole problem, doing that dumb hand thing that like girl influencers do on Instagram, and my whole thing. Like she's talking about, what are you talking about? Dating. So this is going to get a little spicy. You're talking about foreign policy. You're talking about the fact that your party is funding a genocide. And you went on stage at the Democratic National Convention and lied. So don't sit there and be like, guys, like, what's going on? Like, is it me? Or like, shut up. Like, honestly, just get out of politics and just talk about dating. And today we went for a boba, and just be some stupid 20-something influencer rather than lie to me, to my face, as someone who supported you. Let's listen to more nonsense.
Because if you have been your party's nominee for 12 years in a row, 4 years ago and 4 years before that and 4 years before that.
Wrong. As I just said, she was not the nominee 4 years ago, so she doesn't know what she's talking about once again.
And you cannot grow your movement pretty much at all, and can't pursue any successful strategy, and all you do is show up once every 4 years to speak to people who are justifiably pissed off, but you're just showing up once every 4 years to do that, you're not serious. You're not to me, it does not read as authentic. It reads as predatory.
Oh my God, predatory. So kind of like the passing yourself off as a progressive and predatorily getting people to donate to the Democratic Party and the squad, and you do nothing. And what's even more offensive, the Greens have done more than the squad has, and the Greens are actively blocked by the Democratic Party. Again, no mention of the fact that the Democratic Party is actively and publicly trying to block Jill Stein from having ballot access. That's not a democracy. You shouldn't have to block ballot access. If you're the Democratic Party and you've got all these billions of dollars and you've got the best platform, that's the problem with the Democrats. Their platform for the last 8 years has been, we're not Trump. Okay, Trump's bad, but how are you going to make what? And then the liberals will regurgitate these talking points that they hear on MSNBC. Joe Biden has done this, he's passed this, he's done that. Really? How come my grocery bills, I just came back from Costco, and what used to be about $140, $150 is now $210 at Costco. Oh, and by the way, there's armed guards at the grocery store here in LA. So I'm treated like a criminal, that I'm always looked at like a criminal just to buy groceries, because there's people so hungry they got to steal food. Oh, by the way, my car insurance went up. Oh, guess what? My Wi-Fi bill just went from $60 a month to $83 a month. I've done nothing. I haven't increased service. I haven't asked for faster Wi-Fi. So all those bills have gone up. But what have you done? What have you done? What has the squad done? Somebody write in the comment, one bill the squad has passed. What? Where is it? Show it to me. Show it to me. And then list all of the Greens that are holding positions in government, state, local, state assemblies. Show them to me. I'm so sick of this shit. I was so on board with this person. She's such a filthy sellout. You're a filthy sellout. You want to know why she's worse than Marjorie Taylor Greene? Marjorie Taylor Greene is batshit nuts. She's a QAnon, Karen, ding-dong, right-wing nutburger, but she presents as a nutburger. I'm a privileged, dumb white lady. I'm stupid. I listen to QAnon. The people in my district obviously are other stupid white people. I'm a moron. I'm fat. I'm useless. So I'm just crazy. At least I know where Marjorie Taylor Greene is. I know she's very clear on who she is. The Republicans are very clear. I don't like them. They're awful. They present as awful. These folks, why I'm harder on the Democrats, they tell me they're better. And then they lie to my face and get nothing passed. Where's Medicare for all? Student debt forgiveness. Oh, 10 grand, 10 grand. When Joe Biden took office, we were in the middle of a national emergency, COVID, which gives the president's broad power. He could have passed Medicare for all. Everyone gets free healthcare in the middle of a once in 100-year pandemic. He could have said, I'm going to 85% of student debt is federally backed, which the president can just say, you don't have to pay it. It's not even asking Congress for additional money. You don't need additional money. You're just saying, you're telling people you don't have to pay it back. Just, it's gone. She's such a filthy liar. She's so disgusting to me. You know, the thing about Trump, I don't like Trump, but I get people voting for him because he's just like, yeah, I just lie. I'm crazy. I say corrupt bullshit. I don't care. Like, all of Trump's lying and nonsense is more honest than this. This is why progressive, actual lefties, not liberals, liberals are crybaby centrists. Liberals throughout history have enabled fascism because they always get mad at the left. Because the left tries to fight for like workers' rights. Oh, she's so awful listening to her. I was really hesitant to do this segment because I knew I would have to listen to this nonsense. Like, just shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying it because as a person, I endorse Working Families Party candidates. I endorse DSA candidates. I take risks and I endorse even in primaries against Democrats when it's merited. What does this person do to grow power for the?
Yeah, once again, what this really says to me, the Democrats are scared. Because the Democrats aren't making videos about the DSA or the Working People's Party or the Communist Party, like Celia de la Cruz, those women that are running for the, I think, Socialist or Communist Party. Good for them. They're not making a dent. So this was like AOC was called upon to do this because they're like, hey, Kamala she's losing the Muslim vote. She's losing the Muslim vote because Muslims are like, oh, she's going to let this country keep committing genocide against Palestinians and keep bombing us the way we've been bombed under Trump, under Biden, under Obama. Remember, Obama dropped more bombs than Bush, and Bush was a war criminal. So what does that make Obama? So the Green Party is now a threat. Jill Stein is a threat, and Jill Stein has been fighting publicly the Democratic Party, trying to block all these other people she listed. I doubt any of those people have had the Democratic machine try to actively block them from getting on ballots. Explain how that's democracy to me, AOC. Give me some, my whole thing. It's going to be a little spicy. Like, give me that. Do that dumb Instagram girl hand gesture and explain to me how it's okay that your party is funding genocide. Explain that to me. Like, she is so abhorrent in her selling out. And RFK is a bitch ass sellout. Tulsi's a sellout. They're just the most maggot ridden, soulless people. These are the worst people. They're bad people. Trump is bad. The Republicans are bad. But honestly, I've said this from the jump. I got more respect for somebody that comes up into my face and says, Graham, I don't like you. I don't care. I don't like you for these reasons. At least, all right, at least I know who you are. I know you don't like me. So I don't have to waste any time with you. Rather than the person goes, yeah, you're my buddy, man. And then behind my back talks shit about me. Snickers when I fail. And then they say, oh man, I'm so sorry. Ha ha, Graham fell on his face. It's ridiculous. So I cannot urge you to vote third party. Like if anything, this just helped the third party. This just helped Greens. Vote Green, man. Vote, because the other thing too, if the Greens get over 5% of the vote, it gives them more money and more ballot access. So anything to stick it to the two-party system. Not voting enables the two-party system to keep doing what they're doing. The two-party system wants you to stay home and vote. So all they got to do is manipulate their base and get a handful of independents to vote one way or the other, and that keeps these clowns in power. Whoever wins in November, America's going to suffer. Trump's awful. I don't want him to be president again. He's awful, but Kamala's going to be just as bad. She said we're going to keep fracking going. She's going to keep funding the bombing and the genocide. What do we got? 25, 30,000 dead children, almost 200 dead journalists. Okay. Right? Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. AOC started when she came in, she was fighting the party. She was publicly going after Nancy Pelosi. And then now she calls her mama bear. She's AOC Pelosi because they promised her stuff. They said, hey, AOC, start playing ball, start sheep herding these young millennial and Gen Z progressives, start sheep herding them, get them to donate to us. And we're going to give you a top slot. You're going to be president in 8 years. That's what they did. That's what they did. The people of the Middle East, you think they're going to care that they're getting bombed now by the first female president? Do you think they felt differently when they were bombed by the first black president? No, they didn't. This is the lie. This is the diversity of the ruling class. These people are put into power. And maybe they had ideals at the beginning, but they know. So the ruling elites, the people really calling the shots, they know how to recognize power-hungry people and put them in positions of power. And they go, oh, you know what? We need a young hipster woman of color. We need a gay guy, Pete Buttigieg. And they're just as evil and sociopathic as the white male straight guys. I mean, they're just as awful. They're even more awful because they're lying. There's this woman from Harvard who gave this speech. She's like, what'd she say? Like, black faces in high places doesn't fix the problem. I'm paraphrasing her speech, but she's a black woman saying it's not just about putting people of color in these positions. We need good people. That's what we need. You know what we don't have? We don't have a diversity of ideas. All we have is identity politics. When Trump, Biden, Harris, and RFK are all pro-Israel, there's no diversity of ideas. There's no ideological diversity. It's all a scam. Vote third party. Shave your knuckles for justice and buy Bitcoin because the Federal Reserve is collapsing. Boop. What's up? Hey, Annabelle. Bitcoin, hello. Yes, we need Bukele. Yes, I'm changing the graphic. The title of the show, we're changing it. We're slowly transforming it to be the Bitcoin Vigilante. I'm going to talk more about Bitcoin in general, still from a political standpoint, but Yeah, remember what Malcolm said about the Wolfco point. AOC sounds like Durian. Yep, AOC is another American politician sucked into all the talk and no action vortex. The Green Party actually has won some down ballot seats. But not voting for them plays into the Democratic Party's hand, and the Democratic Party actively blocks them. So, I mean, the Green Party is going to raise $20 million or something like that. Kamala Harris has raised over $500 million just since she announced. What does that tell you? How to get started with Bitcoin? Go to Swan Bitcoin's YouTube channel and watch some tutorials on that. But we'll talk about Bitcoin. Oh, gosh. 1.5 million from APAC. Yep, you got that right. Remember, folks, you can do a super chat to support our show. And of course, we've got Venmo at Graham-Elwood. I will check that right now. Make sure there's a dash between Graham and Elwood. There's an at Graham Elwood out there, but it is a scam artist. Because the human race, they're great. All right. Let us do our next segment. All right, I'll be back with our next hot, fresh segment. Hello, citizens of Gotham. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Bitcoin Vigilante. Oh, a rebranding. We're doing a rebranding. You can support our show. That's a great to do Bitcoin Lightning donations. And of course, you can support us traditionally, rockfin.com, patreon.com. Yeah, talking more about Bitcoin. So it's been kind of an interesting, it's one of the more unique halvings we've had, because it hit an all-time high of 73,000 like a month before the halving. When the halving hit, it was somewhere around 64, 65,000. And since then, it's been kind of, and as of today, it's, I don't know, 57, 58,000. So I wanted to talk about what's causing this. And part of it is because the economy is really starting to collapse, and the government and media is trying to say that it isn't. A lot of big companies and even people like Warren Buffett have liquidated stocks and liquidated Bitcoin positions because they want to have a bunch of cash. So wealthy people do this. And big corporations do this when they know the economy is going to crash, because they want to have a lot of cash. When everything crashes, they can buy stuff on sale, basically. Commercial real estate, regular real estate, businesses will go belly up. Businesses that are profitable, they're just undervalued. I mean, everything gets, they can buy cars for cheaper, boats for cheaper. Everything becomes cheaper in the middle of a crash. So when you see rich people starting to liquidate stocks and commodities and bonds and all their assets and put them into cash and just start stockpiling cash, that's when you know it's coming. I've been talking about this crash. We're in it. And they keep trying to say, oh, no, it's fine. The economy's fine. We're fine. So, but there's even more reasons why the Bitcoin price is doing what it is. So this is from CoinDesk. They're a pretty good Bitcoin and crypto website. Bitcoin could drop 20% after Fed rate cuts in bearish case, but weak September presents buying opportunities analysis. Bitfinex suggests Bitcoin could fall as low as 40K in the bearish scenario. So let's talk about this. A 25 basis point Federal Reserve cut would be positive for markets, but a higher 50-point move would signal growing concerns of a recession and a deeper correction for risk assets, Bitfinex said in a report. A September price drop would present a buying opportunity with a seasonally strong period ahead. Worn down by months of lackluster price action, crypto investors were looking forward to the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates in September as a catalyst for a bull move, but escalating recession fears could bring a deeper correction, according to an analysis at Bitfinex. Bitcoin could drop as much as 15 to 20% following a September rate cut if the easing cycle is paired with a recession, wrote the team. That would translate to the bottom somewhere in the $40,000 to $50,000 range. Typically, rate cuts are presented as bullish catalysts for risk assets. They wrote a 25 basis point rate cut could likely mark the beginning of a standard rate cut cycle, which could lead to long-term price appreciation for Bitcoin as recession fears ease. Such a move would signal the Fed's confidence in the economy's resilience, reducing the likelihood of a severe downturn. Alternatively, this is where it gets interesting, a larger 50 basis point rate cut might result in a short-lived 5 to 8% spike for Bitcoin, only to be erased by growing concerns of an oncoming recession and more pain for asset prices. So what does that mean real quick? Let's discuss that, what that means. And this is something I've talked about before. If a big financial collapse happens, a big recession, a big 2008 type collapse, or in March of 2020 when everything got shut down because of COVID, as I said, in the short run, the Bitcoin price will go down for sure, because what that means is, again, if assets start losing value, people, investors, hedge funds, big corporations, big people like Warren Buffett will pull their money out of assets and hold on to cash. Because what that means is the assets will go down in value and then they'll buy them on sale. So real big investors don't go, oh man, I've lost all this money. I bought Bitcoin at 60 grand. Now it's at 45. I've lost money. They don't view it that way. They say, this is a valuable asset. I'm buying it on sale. Imagine if I'm using an Apple computer, right? A really state-of-the-art new MacBook. I don't know what today, I haven't bought one in a while, but let's say it's about $1,500. And let's say Apple just has a big, bad financial problem. They're not going out of business, but Apple computers, for whatever reasons, there's a glut in the market, and the price of Apple computers gets cut in half. Would you go, oh God, no, I'm not buying an Apple. They're bad. No, you go, this is a great product on sale, right? Or real estate. Let's say the real estate market crashes. Well, they're not making any more real estate. Everyone's always going to need a place to live. We have 8 billion people on the planet, and people are always going to need a place to live. So if you have the cash and the real estate markets crash, that's when you should buy. So what that means, what they're saying is the crash will make institutional investors liquidate assets to have more cash to buy stuff on sale. Retail investors usually panic and you know, they invest with their emotions too much, and they go, oh, I'm losing money, I got to sell, and they don't hold. If you're a Bitcoiner like me, if the price drops to 40, that means I'll buy more. When the price dropped 2 years ago, remember when the FTX thing happened and the price dropped to 20,000, it got as low as 16,000, and it was under 20,000 for months. And everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin's done. I bought the dip. And then it basically tripled in value. So that's why, again, I'm not a day trader with Bitcoin. I'm a buy it and hold it. And when the price drops, if I have some cash, I try to buy. I try to buy the dip. If you're thinking about getting into Bitcoin or buying some Bitcoin, you might want to hold, just see what happens with this rate price. But ultimately, timing the market, don't get too hung up on that. That's why I suggest dollar cost averaging, which is you just buy the same dollar amount every month of Bitcoin. And a lot of the exchanges you can set up to do this. Swan Bitcoin does this, where you can just buy whatever, 20 bucks a month, 50, 100, whatever you can afford. And so you're not worried about the price doing this and that. It's just about buying Bitcoin and acquiring as much of it as you can. But if you have a little extra assets, if it drops down to 45,000, it's a good time to buy in. It's not financial advice. I'm not a paid financial advisor, but let's read this a little more. Getting back to this, if they cut the interest rates by 50 points, this would mirror past instances where aggressive rate cuts initially boosted asset prices only for the gains to be tempered by rising economic uncertainties. So when the inflation was happening, they were raising the interest rates. Now they're going to probably try to bring it down because we're in, I've said this before, we're in a recession. They just don't want to say it. Seasonal effects aren't in Bitcoin favor either. They said, noting September is one of the weakest months of the year in crypto. This is how it looks typically if you look at this chart, right? All the doom and gloom for the month ahead could present an attractive buying opportunity for investors with more favorable months coming after crypto in person. Buying blood in September to build exposure for Q4 has historically been the best spot energy, okay? The period from October to April has been historically the strongest time for Bitcoin. An investor opting to buy the October open and sell the April close would have seen a 1,449% return since 2019. Think about that, guys. While the trader opting for the opposite strategy would have seen negative returns. There are also some positive catalysts for strong year-end report at the large. Selling pressure from various government entities and Mount Gox have mostly abated, while about 14.5 billion of funds will be redistributed to FTX creditors later this year, which bulls hoping a part of that money will be reinvested in the crypto market. So we're the third day of September. Hang tight. Just by the end of the month, it might be a good time to buy Bitcoin. And by next spring, the price could triple. It could be 150 by next spring, which traditionally 12 to 14 months after a halving, Bitcoin does anywhere from a 3 to a 10x. So even if it does a 3x, again, the price of the halving was about 65,000. So you're looking at 180, between 180 and 200,000 by next April, by next May. Buy the dip and hold it. And again, you want to play it safe, 5 to 10% of your cash into Bitcoin and hang on to it. And don't worry about buy, sell, up, down, that did this, that did that. Just hang on to it. Because if you hang on to it for at least 5 years, you'll make money. And put it in a cold wallet. Buy it on an exchange. You got to buy it on exchange. I recommend Swan Bitcoin. If you go to Swan Bitcoin, use this. If you use swanbitcoin.com/Graham Elwood and you sign up for $100, you get a free $10 in Bitcoin. Bam. Look at that. So you get a free $10 in Bitcoin. So your $100 of the Bitcoin will be $110 in Bitcoin. There you go. Free Bitcoin. And Swan shows you how to self-custody, which means getting it into a cold wallet, getting it off of the exchanges. So do what the institutional investors are doing. Do what the rich people do. That's what I say. You know, they wrote the tax laws. Look what they're doing. Follow what they're doing. They want us to be uneducated about money so that we just get a job and get a credit card and just, that's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. So when the markets crash, you want to have a little cash to buy stuff. And, Bitcoin, some people like gold. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Follow money, connect the dots, get the truth. Buy Bitcoin, stack sats, and ba-boom, shave your knuckles for justice. Pow. What's up? I will buy the dip in gold and silver. That's not a bad move. Springtime now in Australia. Nice. When you say having in your American accent, it sounds like having. And I was running what you now have. I know we don't really say halving. We say having. Yeah. Tell us about Thailand and Cambodia. It was amazing. Thailand and Cambodia were so great. I had such a wonderful time. The shows in Bangkok were really cool. It's a cool club. I'll come back to Thailand for sure and do more shows there. And I want to travel because I found out I was talking to all these other comedians when I was there, comedians from China, from Australia, from all over the place, that their shows in Vietnam, in Cambodia, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, like there's all these cool places to do shows. And so I'm thinking I might do like a tour in January or February, provided I'm not shooting a film or TV show. There's several projects I'm out actively shopping. So if there's a hole in my schedule, I think what I might do is go do shows in Honolulu and then Tokyo and then Seoul. I do Honolulu, Tokyo, Seoul, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand. Then do a little surfing in Phuket and come home. Maybe do a little 5-6 week run. Bam, bam, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, but there's a lot of cool things I'm working on. Again, like I said, I met with the Thai Film Commission. That was really good, and that's moving some projects forward. And there's a lot of cool stuff happening. So, and I really like Thailand. Bangkok is a really cool city. I don't know that I could live in Bangkok because it's just so big. It's a little too big for me, but as far as big cities go, it's very affordable. I could live there part of that. If there's work, if I was shooting something, I could absolutely live there. But I really like being down in Phuket and surfing down that way. That was cool. And I was up in Chiang Mai, which is beautiful. I just like to see more of the country, and I want to see more of that part of the world. Southeast Asia is really cool, and I want to go back to Bali. I haven't been there in 20 years, and I want to go to the Philippines. I've never been to the Philippines. So why is China bullying the Philippines? Well, it's because the Philippines is tied to the United States. And so we kind of force the Philippines to, this is what we do with our allies. We force the Philippines to do what we say, and which means they're not allowed to do business with China, which is crazy. I'll give you a great example. When the COVID vaccine first started rolling out, China had their vaccine out first. So like when I was in Thailand, all the Thai people, they said, yeah, I got the Chinese vaccine. They just got 2 shots and they were done. And a lot of people say the Chinese vaccine is probably the most effective one. And they got the Chinese vaccine in the Philippines first, but because America has such influence in the Philippines, America put out an anti-vax campaign in the Philippines. Oh, the Chinese vaccine's bad for you and it causes all these birth defects or whatever. Because they didn't want the Filipinos to take the Chinese vaccine. They wanted them to take the American vaccines and get the American money. So that's what's going on. Arlene Chambers, shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for sharing information, Graham. Have you had any issues when filing taxes surrounding Bitcoin? I've heard different stories about that. Well, part of that is and that's a great question, Arlene, because the crypto laws, it's so new and the United States government and tax code is catching up to it. The first year I was in it, like 5 years ago, there was like no tax reporting, and now there is, and that's fine. I just declare all of it. I use this company called Coin Tracker, and it tracks all of my transactions. And did I gain money? Did I lose money? And then there's a form that they generate. I forget, it's like a 1099 type form. I forget the number of the form, and I give that to my accountant. So I just do it all above board. I'm not hiding anything. If you're in the United States, I would talk to your accountant about that and get more information from your accountant. But yeah, I just file a form, and some years, like 2 years ago, I lost money, so I declared it as a loss, and it's only a gain if you cash it out. Rockfin pays us in crypto, and some of that I liquidate into cash into US dollars to pay bills, so that I have to declare. But I just declare it like it's income. Like I have to declare my YouTube income. Depending on the sizes of the trades that you're doing, but I would talk to your accountant, and I would try to be as above board, because I can see what the United States is going to try to go after people that are making money in crypto and not declare it. The United States will come after you hard. So I'm like, I'm doing everything above board, declare all of it. These are the forms, give it to my accountant, because I know how this country operates. They would love to jam a guy like me up, but great question. Great question. Remember USA billionaires flying to Russia for Sputnik vaccine? Yep. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Very few to no taxes with American gold and silver. Oh, that's good to know. Again, check with your accountant. Just talk to your accountant, because each state might be different. Just talk to your accountant and get the best information and tell them this is what I'm doing and what's going on. And I use multi-sig for my Bitcoin. All right, guys, that is my show. Thank you so much. Lee Camp and I will be doing Government Secrets tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. We haven't done GovSeeks in a month. We were both traveling, so we're excited to GovSeek it. If you haven't listened or watched the Government Secrets live from Los Angeles show is up. It's up on my YouTube, and the audio is also out as well. So please check that out and support us any way you can, patreon.com. I'm going to be revamping my Patreon. So I'm open to any suggestions. Like if you're a Patreon supporter, tell me what we could do to change it or whatever. I feel like I just kind of want to simplify and streamline the Patreon. Tell me like if there's something, oh, Graham, if you did this on Patreon, I would support that. I'm open to what we're doing. So thank you, Holly Horn, our moderator. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you, Ariel, for the super chat. Good to see everybody. We're back. We'll be doing 2 to 3 live streams a week from this point forward. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff helps. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Buy Bitcoin and shave your knuckles for justice. Bye-boom.